Assalamu alaikum dear students. Welcome to nuclear physics lecture. In today's lecture we will talk about multi-stage accelerators. I'm Dr. Pervez Ahmad. The working principles of multi-stage accelerators are the way the multi-stage accelerator work is basically we have the potential that should be obtained from high voltage generators can be used repeatedly in a multi-stage accelerated process. The basic working principle is that the potential obtained from a high voltage generators can be used repeatedly in a multi-stage accelerator process. So the linear accelerators, is basically the way at which the linear accelerator operates. This is the basic idea behind the multi-accelerators, the multi-stage accelerator. That is the potential obtained. First we're trying to have the potential which we obtains from high voltage generators, and that obtained potentials can be used repeatedly in a multi-stage accelerator process. And this is the way by which the linear accelerator operate. It's the working principle of the linear accelerators. So uh, uh, wide arrow multi-stage accelerator is basically a kind of multi-stage accelerator, and the sketch of the structures, here you can see this particular figure. The different part of the accelerator that we call wide arrow multi-stage accelerators, and the animation basically you can easily visualize that how the things how the particles they are being accelerated with the help of this particular accelerator. So let's discuss the different parts and the process. You can easily see here and these animations. So how this is happening. What actually the wide arrow multi-stage accelerator, it basically consists of a tube of a series of cylindrical electrode that we call the drop tube. Here you can see that these are basically the drop tube. Like you can also visualize it in this particular animations. So these are the drop tubes. So the electrodes are coupled to a radio frequency generators. Here you see that this is a radio frequency generator. So these radio frequency generators, here we are saying that the electrodes are coupled to radio frequency generator. All the electrodes they are being coupled to this radio frequency generators. The high voltage generators give a maximum voltage V, and here we have specified by the English alphabet V, capital V. You can also visualize here as the capital V is basically for the high voltage. So the voltage is applied to the electrode by the radio frequency, by the RF, so that the electrode alternate and sign of the voltage at a constant frequency. Just like you can see it here, the alternation is happening like this. The animation can clearly give the views that how the alterations it's happening with the voltage. You apply the voltage, and this applied voltage has been you apply the voltage, the applied voltage to the electrode by the RF. uh, the sample idea is that the voltage is applied to the electrode by the RF, so that the electrodes alternates and sign of the voltage at a constant frequency. Here you can easily visualize the thing what we are saying here at this particular point. So what happened after that? So if the particle arrives at the gap between the electrode, these are the gap between the electrode. This is the gap, this is the gap, and this is the gap between the electrode. um, so what happened if the particle arrives at the gap between the electrodes and the proper phase with the radio frequency? So the particle are accelerated across the gap. If we have the proper way between these gap, so then the particles they are being accelerated. they receive during this particular process, they receive an increase in energy of QV. That is for n electrode, it's equal to nq v, and you know that we already mentioned about this equation, what actually mean by the different term utilized in this particular relations. So inside the drip tubes no acceleration take place. I mean, so here you can see that the particle while passing through this particular tube, I mean it has almost a uniform speed, but as soon as passes through this particular tube, so the acceleration is being increased. I mean inside this tube, inside this rib tube no acceleration take place. I mean whatever is taking place is outside the tube. So this is all for this particular lecture. See you in the next lecture.